WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Back in the saddle after a 1 week absence, I should say, due to Widener football, and we had the abbreviated show 2 weeks ago for a similar reason, actually for the same reason, a different Widener football game, and from what I've been informed from El Jefe Roberto, we've got a little bit more of the similar. In this case, it's high school playoff football action. Conway-Leakin Catholic at Palisades from Northeast High School, and that'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff, so we'll be off the air somewhere in the 12:45 to 12:50-ish range. Fearon Derry here with you, and I'm like Eric Carmen. I'm all by myself here. No sign of Ted, no sign of Lucas, nobody telling me anything. I don't know nothing, I guess, is the best way I can put it here. But I do know that a lot of stuff happened in wrestling, and we're certainly going to talk about that in the time frame that we do have here, including a huge Survivor Series that we missed out here, and so that'll certainly be fun to say the least here, and we'll get into that in a moment. But first, I want to let you know that Jake Hager, better known as in WWE as Jack Swagger, is signed with the Bellator MMA group. Hager was an All-American wrestler for the Oklahoma University prior to signing with WWE, and he said he'd be making his MMA debut in 2018, and he answered why he left WWE from this little tidbit here from the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani.
It's funny, everyone asked me that, why did you leave the WWE? And, you know, for the longest time, very thankful for my career there. I mean, an average career up there is 3 years. I was able to go 10 years up there. And for the longest time, it's like, why did I leave? And I think it becomes very obvious, like, this is why I left the WWE. I wasn't allowed to really compete up there, even though I felt like I could take anyone in the locker room. And now it's such a popular time to be a pro wrestler, to be in combat sports, to be an MMA fighter, where you can really take your opportunity and put it in your own hands, your own hard work. And, like, that's really why I left.
And, very interesting to see Jack Swagger make his way to the MMA ranks, as we've seen quite a few other people do, although not going right to UFC like CM Punk did. So we'll see how things go here with that. But to take care of some other business here, I know this is like the shortest opening segment in. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I might have a little bit of a reprieve. Let's see. Live radio. You never know what's going to happen here. Who's our mystery guest entering and signing in here? Oh, Jack Urban. What a surprise. Okay. I guess he is Country Ted for the day here. Okay, I'm getting the nod of approval. All right. So Jack Urban, he'll be here with you this afternoon. I'm slowly finding out more and more about how the day's supposed to be going. It's fun things about nothing can go wrong when it's live, as Vince McMahon so eloquently said. And that's certainly what we're working on here. But I'm going to take care of a quick bit of early business here before getting into things. We'll have a very long second segment. Got a little bit of prep to do for the game here. I'm all about full disclosure and kind of being honest with you out there. Just making sure that the connection's good there. So the philosopher Chris Ermer, full of glory and renown, he is on the horn looking to do a check, and I can't do that while I'm on the air running my mouth. So we're going to take care of our first time out here and be back to talk a whole bunch of wrestling stuff right after this here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, where we love the holidays. Bring your party to Chicky and Pete's. We can handle groups of all sizes at our locations across the Delaware Valley. Big parties, small parties, company parties, family parties, get-togethers with friends. Order off the menu or our special catering options. We can do it all, including coming to your home or office or special Play 2 party packages at our South Philly location. Book your party today. Hurry, the space is limited. Visit chickyandpete's.com for details. Chicky and Pete's is an official caterer of the Philadelphia Eagles Touchdown Club and a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
We all have the ability to touch the lives of those around us. To someone going through a difficult time, a text, a call, or a visit can mean so much. Reach out to the veterans in your life today. Let them know they're not alone. One simple act can make all the difference. That's the power of one. If you're a veteran in crisis or know one who is, visit veteranscrisisline.net for free 24/7 confidential support.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Hi, Tom Mellon from Team Toyota. Remember to listen to our show, Let's Go Places with Tommy Toyota, live here on 1490 WBCB, dedicated to our local hometown veterans, policemen, and firemen. Call me anytime for an appointment at 215-768-6505. That's 215-768-6505 for your exclusively discounted vehicle selection, and $50 will be donated in your honor to our specially selected charities. Stop by and see me, Tommy Toyota, at Team Toyota, Business Route 1, Langhorne.
Brain, spine, and back disorders are life-changing, often leaving you alone to seek answers only to be rushed through an assembly line office. The compassionate doctors at Princeton Brain and Spine Care have a mission. It's their duty and goal to treat your condition with the care that you deserve and with the care that you need to get better. At Princeton Brain and Spine Care, your quality of life is their best reward. Visit them online at PrincetonBrainandSpine.com or call 215-741-3141.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go.
All
That's
right.
what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome to the fun and adventure known as live radio. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you, and Ted apparently is not, and neither is Lucas. Although Jack Urban filling in for Ted today, he'll have the Country Road Show, an abbreviated version following the high school football game. Comwell Egan Catholic against Palisades. So that's coming up. We'll be going to you between 12:45 and 12:50 for that one. Also, as I was getting into before, taking a slight detour here on this this audio highway that we have here, the Survivor Series from this past Sunday. Yes, a rather large event has become the Big Four, and we'll talk a little bit more about the effect of that for next year. But for now, as far as the results for those who may have missed it, well, first of all, in the pre-show you had 3 matches because the 2-hour start time, and one of those matches that wasn't advertised but until very, very late, late this past Sunday, Elias taking on Matt Hardy and beating him in Matt Hardy in singles competition as Jeff still recovering from the rotator cuff injury that he had, and Hardy, it makes sense. I mean, Hardy more so known as the tag team wrestler in WWE and whatnot. Secondly, we had the advertised match that Lucas and I both picked correctly. Enzo pinning Kalisto and retaining the Cruiserweight Championship, and then another unadvertised, this time a tag team match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beating Breezango. All that in the pre-show, and then you had the 7 main matches, which almost harkened back to Starrcade '95 with the World Cup of Wrestling, in that you had the 2 different sides, Raw and SmackDown, battling in what seemed to be a best of 7 for brand supremacy. I don't know. I don't know where exactly it was going, but That being said, that was kind of the subplot to the night. It almost felt more like bragging rights than it did Survivor Series in that regard. But you had the Shield beating New Day, which Lucas and I both correctly picked. Team Raw of the women's side beating Team SmackDown, as Asuka was the sole survivor in that one. Lucas and I both got that one right. U.S. Champion Baron Corbin upended Intercontinental Champion The Miz in non-title matches all around. And that was, and for me, the only one, spoiler alert, that I didn't get right in terms of those, in terms of the predictions starting to go wrong. The Battle of the Tag Team Champions, the Usos defeated Sheamus and Cesaro. That one I picked correctly. Lucas, not so much. In the Battle of the Women's Champions, it was Charlotte over Alexa Bliss, which we both picked correctly. Then you had your Battle of the Heavyweight Champions, WWE Champion AJ Styles and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Lesnar ended up winning that, which I correctly picked. Lucas was going with AJ Styles, and it didn't work out so well for him. And then in the main event, tied up 3-3, it was, surprise, surprise, Team Raw over Team SmackDown, with the sole survivors being Triple H and Braun Strowman, beating the Team SmackDown of John Cena, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, and Shane McMahon. So I went 7-1 for the pay-per-view. Lucas 5-3, and an interesting take on things. Well, not only with Survivor Series, but the night after, as over on Raw, we had a title change after all those champions versus champions. Roman Reigns defeating The Miz to become Intercontinental Champion, and in the process becoming a Grand Slam champion, the 17th in WWE history, holding 4 different major titles throughout the company. And the Grand Slam concept has been around for actually just over 20 years. It started in September of 97, because as we all know, it all goes back to 97, when Shawn Michaels had first won all 4 titles at the time of the WWE, or then WWF, Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental, the Tag Team, and acquiring the European Championship, which was the newest of the bunch. And that Grand Slam concept eventually expanded to include the Hardcore Championship as an acceptable substitute for the European title. And the Grand Slam concept switched again after the acquisition of WCW, as there was an influx of championships, so it was expanded once again to include either primary title of the WWE or World/WCW heavyweight title, either the WWE or World/WCW tag team titles, as well as both secondary titles of the Intercontinental and United States Championships, since the Hardcore and European titles eventually became defunct. And then in 2015, it was updated for the 4 then-active men's titles, WWE, Intercontinental, U.S., and tag titles, removing the world title from the bunch. And this year, it was indicated that the WWE Universal and SmackDown tag team titles are acceptable substitutes to qualify for the Grand Slam. So Roman Reigns, the 17th person to do it, in this case, previously having won the WWE Championship, the U.S. title, and the tag titles. And had some interesting Grand Slam trivia, which I was going to share with Twitch had he been here, but we'll have some fun with it here. Just some interesting tidbits on that. As we'll get into that now, and kind of we're kind of all over the place here today. Constant roadblocks and detours and other things, and just kind of making our way along here. So, as I mentioned, 17 different people have held the Grand Slam championship. The others being Triple H, Kane, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Jeff Hardy, JBL, Christian, The Big Show, The Miz, Daniel Bryan, and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, that's right, Dean Ambrose, back in August of this year. He was actually the 3rd person this year to hit that Grand Slam mark. Roman Reigns this past Monday. Dean Ambrose back in August, capturing the tag titles along with Seth Rollins. And earlier this year, under the current format, Chris Jericho Yeah, that's right. Back in January this year, he already was a Grand Slam champion under the previous format, but I'll get more into that in a minute. 4 wrestlers have earned the distinction of holding that Grand Slam title under both the old and new formats, Jericho being one of them, the other 3 being Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, and The Big Show. And something that I found kind of interesting, 2 of those wrestlers have won under the old format every possible title. I'm kind of jokingly calling it the Magnificent 7 Championship, in that they held the WWE title, the World Heavyweight title, both versions of the tag titles, as well as the Intercontinental, European, and Hardcore titles. Just 2 people, and they would be Chris Jericho and Jeff Hardy. That's it. So that I thought was kind of interesting. And there are 8 current WWE roster wrestlers that are just 1 title away from joining that elite club of 17. The others being Kevin Owens, who just needs the tag titles, as he's won the Universal, Intercontinental, and U.S. titles. John Cena, who only needs the Intercontinental title. Obviously, many-time WWE champion. He won the tag titles as well as the U.S. on quite a few occasions. Randy Orton just needs the U.S. title, as he won the other 3. And, let's see, also needing the Intercontinental title to complete it, Sheamus. That's right, he's a former WWE champion, U.S. champion, and currently one half of the Raw Tag Team title holders. And Seth Rollins. I knew it was somebody else I was missing here. Seth Rollins also needing the Intercontinental title, as he has previously held the Raw Tag titles as well as the U.S. and WWE Championship. And then there are 3 that I don't know if they're necessarily going to hit it because they need the heavyweight title, either WWE or Universal. But kind of interesting in just doing some research on it. Dolph Ziggler being one of them. No, unfortunately, that very, very brief run as World Heavyweight Champion doesn't quite hit the mark on that. And the other 2, Kofi Kingston. Yeah, that's right, former Intercontinental and former U.S. champion, as well as having the distinction of being one of the longest, the longest tag team title reign in WWE history, beating out Demolition. And the other, Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, that's right. He's still on the SmackDown roster. He's a former Intercontinental U.S. title holder, as well as a tag title holder way back in the day with Charlie Haas. But I don't know. At his stage of his career, stranger things have happened, but I don't know if he's going to get either the WWE or Universal title to join that distinct grouping. So yeah, there you have it. The Grand Slam, little Grand Slam trivia here. Let's go ahead here and shake things up a bit. Somewhat here. We're gonna go right to the phones, and I was gonna say, Jack, who was that was on the phone? Do we have they can give an unlike the Jim Croce song, this person doesn't have a name. Well, our mystery caller, I guess, enter the phones and sign in, please. Ed from Northeast Philly. I know that laugh anywhere. There we go.
He probably didn't hear me.
Oh, okay. Oh, no worries. Jack's a little thrown off, too. He's used to being here Sunday afternoons here on BCB.
New guy.
I wouldn't say he's the new to Saturdays, maybe, but I mean, Jack is very well seasoned with us here at WBCB. That's and certainly a doggone good guy to boot.
Triple WA tonight in Quakertown at the Farmers Market. 6:30 p.m. bell time.
Oh, up at the Q Mart.
Yes, Quakertown. Kurt Angle and Howard Finkel in Freehold, New Jersey, and I Play America.
Yes, that's right. We I know we were discussing that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, 1 to 4:30.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's. I was gonna say for those who can make it out there, hey, all the better. But I know I'm not going to be able to make it.
And Alexa Bliss is December 1st at I Play America with a 6 p.m. bell time. Autograph signing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know they had a bell for autograph signings.
I meant to say
No,
autograph
I knew
signing.
what you meant. No, it's set to start at 6 o'clock. Just Mahoney busting a little bit there. Ed.
It's something in the air today.
Yeah, it definitely
making
is.
mistakes.
You're
Making mistakes all day today.
Yeah, I don't know about mistakes necessarily. I mean, it's just you're as I said, you're making changes on the fly. That's kind of what I've been doing here.
And did you see the lineup for the next House of Icons Wrestling?
I glanced at it. I believe if I saw right, there's a reuniting of the Horsemen.
Yeah, they're going to have Mark Henry just added this past couple hours ago.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
I think Vader's on the show.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna say now that I'm pulling it up here, I was gonna say the Horsemen reuniting as it looks like you'll see J.J. Dillon, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham. I was gonna say is Tully.
Tully, I think Tully was listed.
Oh yeah, there. If you were any closer, it jumped out and bit me. There we go. Yeah, Flair, Tully, Arn, Barry Windham, and J.J. Dillon, the Four Horsemen, all in attendance there. Also, looks like the night before the Royal Rumble, the Live After Dark show. As I'm looking here,
and
Bruce Pritchard and Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah, that's that will be interesting just on its own there. That's for sure. So yeah, Jake Roberts will be there. Mark Henry, as you had mentioned, Scott Hall set to be there. Ron Simmons, Victoria, Vader, Lex Luger, Mean Gene, Tony Atlas, Missy Hyatt, Teddy Long, the Boogeyman.
Teddy Long, I think, is Sunday.
It just gives me the names here. It doesn't have specific. That's because it's a 2-day festival. That's right. It's they're doing 2 days because it's all Royal Rumble weekend, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention. I don't think he'll be part of the Horseman reunion, even though he is a later member of the Four Horsemen. But Steve Mongo McMichael.
Oh, no, I forgot about him.
I was gonna say it's not necessarily not Paul Roma or anybody like that necessarily, but that's going to be a fun one.
Only might pop up.
I was gonna say that would be a heck of a surprise, but certainly not a bad one. That's for sure. I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind it. There's going to be so much going on that weekend, and it's all going to be centralized right here in the Philadelphia area. I mean, the Collector Fest. You'll have NXT. You'll have the Rumble. You'll have Raw and SmackDown on Monday and Tuesday night. It's just. Hopefully Santa's doling out cash for Christmas because with everything that's going on here and just looking at some of the prices of these things, you're going to need it. I'm looking here, the Four Horsemen combo meet and greet package, $225, $225 for that one. And then there's a weekend, just to get into the place. If you go both days, it's $30 or $20 for each individual day just to get in there. And then there's separate photograph and photograph and autograph tickets for Flair. I see here they have those in the cart, and then obviously there'll be other vendor information. Yeah, this one's I was gonna say this one's gonna be a little on the pricey end here, but it should be a lot of fun down there at the 2300 Arena.
And who knows, the WWE might put some of the wrestlers up at the convention.
I don't know. I'm going to say just knowing what I know about how wrestling works. I don't think that they usually interact or do anything like that. If they do make any kind of an appearance, it may be something backstage behind the scenes and not out in the public there at most. But knowing how they are with with Saturday being NXT. It's hard to say. I think if anything, you're right. They may make a visit over to Tony Luke's and get a cheesesteak and then kind of sneak in the back door of the 2300 Arena. Hard to say, though. We'll see.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, Thanksgiving was this past Thursday. I worked for the majority of it, but had a chance to have a little of the turkey and everything else associated with it.
That's about it.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for the look at the local scene as always, Ed. It is greatly appreciated, and we'll catch up with you. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right.
All right, sounds good there. Ed from Northeast Philly, a loyal caller and listener here to Pro Wrestling Weekly. So some other news and notes and things to get into. Well, an interesting change from the norm, as there's a little bit of WCW-ish information to bring to you. NXT related in this case. They're going to be taping, they're doing a television taping at Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia on January 4th and then again on February 1st and 2nd. Usually they do multiple tapings at their home of Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida, but Center Stage in Atlanta may sound familiar. It was the longtime home of WCW's Saturday Night. Way back in the day, 6:05 Saturday nights on TBS way back in the day. And also something WCW related, Starrcade is tonight. Yeah, obviously it's being run by WWE, and that's probably why Survivor Series had all the fanfare that it did in Starrcade. While it is a special event down there in Greensboro, North Carolina, the only way you'll be able to see it is if you're there live, because WWE not making it a network special, although I think they could. But to WWE, to their credit, has played up the local history of Starrcade, as it was 24 years ago yesterday that the very first Starrcade occurred. Starrcade 83, A Flair for the Gold, featuring a steel cage match between the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Harley Race for the World Heavyweight Championship, as well as a dog collar match between Rowdy Roddy Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine. But to tonight's event, you'll see appearances from Flair as well as Ricky Steamboat, the Hardy Boys, and the Rock and Roll Express. And those are just appearances. You won't be seeing them in the ring, but you'll see in the ring 2 cage matches as Charlotte faces Natalya with the SmackDown Women's title on the line, and AJ Styles battles Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. And interesting of note, Dustin Rhodes making a return and shedding the gold paint for one night to take on Dash Wilder, if you will. That's right, a little homage to the late Dusty Rhodes, who was very instrumental in those early Starrcade events. And over the course of the past few years has been honored down in that area around this time frame with WrestleCade, so I don't know if that's WWE not necessarily piggybacking off of, but making their presence felt in something that's kind of big in that regard, but hard to say. I mentioned Survivor Series earlier and how it'll affect next year. WWE issuing a press release to announce that Survivor Series for 2018 will be held in Los Angeles, what has become the standard Big Four 4-day weekend. The Staples Center will host NXT TakeOver on November 17th, Survivor Series on November 18th, Raw on the 19th, and SmackDown on the 20th. And it's also safe to assume that down the line, we're probably looking at least 2 years, maybe 3 down the line, that the Los Angeles area will host a WrestleMania once that new football stadium is built in Inglewood, and will hopefully be a great web redemption for WrestleMania 7. Remember when they tried to pack the Coliseum? Over 100,000 fans, and there were so few tickets bought that they had to move to the Los Angeles Sports Arena next door for about 15,000 or so in attendance. But hey, Hulk Hogan winning the Iraqi conflict after it was already over with the whole Iraqi sympathizer thing. Yeah, you remember that with Sergeant Slaughter and whatnot. Goodness. And also, since we were off the air last week, we couldn't talk about the WWE future endeavoring of James Ellsworth. No, say it ain't so. The man who made the quote, "Any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance," famous back in July of last year, and was officially signed to the roster 3 months later. He did have an unexpectedly great year with the company, and considering what he was initially in there as just somebody to get beat up by Braun Strowman, and was able to turn that into a year of fun, hilarity, hijinks, and everything else with WWE. Hey, kudos to him. And I did have I did have one opportunity where I got to work with James Ellsworth way back. Goodness, I want to say it was either with Triple WA or It might have been with one of the things that Moose Moretti was doing here in the local area, but it was when he was one half of the tag team Pretty Ugly, going way back, as he was Pretty Jimmy Dream back then, and I mean, it's one of those things where you never know who you're going to work with, so it's good to be good to everybody because you never know what's going to happen. Anyway, we've got a little bit more to get into here, but we're going to take our second time out as we've got a little more than 10 minutes until we've got to make our way out of here. Time just flies on by here. But first, got to tell you that, I was going to say we're at that time already, that it's a frickin' awesome Saturday at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, where the hand pump will have gyroscopes and infrared IPA with tequila-soaked cherry wood. Getting thirsty just thinking about it already. Plus, tonight, the Crypt Keeper 5 will be on the B-Gob stage. This hybrid of folk, blues, and punk rock is awesome, but be warned, it will get loud. And tomorrow, the Goblet starts its winter hours of 12 to 5 on Sundays, but still a chance to grab some Bloodies and Brews and check out the Eagles and Teddy Bears at 1 o'clock with food specials from Nick's Roast Beef all game long. Just a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. Coming back, we've got Today in Wrestling History, birthdays, more news and notes, a lot to get into in a short period of time. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Thousands of families in Pennsylvania have been affected by the opioid crisis. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, help is available. You're not alone. Visit pa.gov/opioids for resources and information on substance abuse. For treatment options, call 1-800-662-HELP. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Are you curious what old antiques, collectibles, or household contents are worth? Listen Friday mornings from 9 to 10 a.m. for What's It Worth with Mike the Appraiser, right here on 1490 WBCB.
Be sure to tune into Senior Legal Strategies with Henry Carpenter every Tuesday morning at 9, right here on 1490 WBCB.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
United Way of Bucks County is asking you to join their holiday gift card drive to benefit older, low-income children whose families often can't afford holiday gifts. Last year, people just like you provided over 600 teens in need with gift cards to one of their favorite coffee shops, clothing stores, and eateries. This holiday season, our community's goal is to help 800 teens. Visit uwbucks.org/gift card drive or call 215-949-1660 for more information and to find out how you can make a difference this year.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 25. On this date in 1992, the WWF held its Survivor Series pay-per-view. In the main event, Bret Hart defeated Shawn Michaels by submission to retain the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1996, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Salisbury, Maryland. In the main event, Meng and the Barbarian fought Booker T and Stevie Ray to a no contest. On this date in 2002, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from North Charleston, South Carolina. In the main event, Rob Van Dam defeated World Heavyweight Champion Shawn Michaels by disqualification. On this date in 2013, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Uniondale, New York. In the main event, John Cena and The Big Show defeated Alberto Del Rio and Randy Orton in a tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 25. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you, and Lucas.
You don't have to look it up. You can continue carrying the show like a boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of carrying it. No, he did let me know that he had some occupational obligations and wasn't able to make it in today. Granted, I did needle it out for to get that information, but that's a whole nother story. Before we, I was going to say, time just flying on by here. Got to let you know we've got more signings from George's Cars and Collectibles, including for the hockey hosers out there. Flyer star Jake Voracek will be at the George's new Oxford Valley Mall location this afternoon from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And Robert Hagg will be at the Oxford Valley location for George's as well on Monday night, December 11th from 7 to 8 p.m. And don't forget that George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing, and in the Oxford Valley Mall on the second level next to Starbucks. For more information, go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. Plus, you can follow them now on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat via @GeorgesCards. So, a couple little added social media things there. Certainly a good thing. And while Twitch's presence not exactly felt at the moment, you might be able to see him and myself 1 week from tonight as the MFPW returns to the world-famous Monster Factory at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. That's next Saturday, December 2nd, for the Middleweight Medallion. It's a one-night tournament for the middleweights to shine and crown the first-ever middleweight champion of the MFPW. The field includes a few ROH stars as well as stars of the MFPW, including Cheeseburger, Chris LaRusso, Flip Gordon, Killanova, Sage, Bobby Shields, Anthony Green, Nick Westgate, and Hyena Hex. Plus, Delirious defends the Supersonic Championship against Mario Bocora, and Soriano puts the MF Network title on the line against 6'7", 269 pounds of Josh Briggs. All this and more next Saturday, December 2nd at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Tickets available now at eventbrite.com. And make sure to check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, plus at monsterfactory.org. And make sure to check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com, the home for Monday Night Monsters. So a couple of other tidbits and things to get into. WWE is advertising Triple H against Roman Reigns on December 8th as the main event of WWE Live in Abu Dhabi. No clue as to whether or not Nirmal will be in attendance. Thank you to the 3 people who got that Garfield reference. And also, WWE will run just one night in New Delhi, India, rather than the previously advertised 2 nights. They were originally scheduled to run at the Gandhi Indoor Stadium on December 8th and 9th, but are now just running on December 9th. WWE giving the Times of India the following statement, quote, "To meet the requests of WWE fans in India and deliver the biggest main event in the country's history, WWE is combining 2 nights of family-friendly action into a one-night-only exclusive super show." But hey, they'll get to see Triple H against Jinder Mahal instead of Jinder as champion. So there's that. Also of note, tickets go on sale this Friday for NXT TakeOver Philadelphia on Saturday, January 27th, the night before the Royal Rumble. And Ric Flair, we mentioned him earlier. Well, the Hall of Famer has filed a lawsuit against his former management company, Legacy Talent and Entertainment. Flair alleging that he was supposed to earn $25,000 for the ESPN Nature Boy documentary on his life, but his former management team allegedly stole the money. Flair claims he's owed $46,000 overall, and when he reached out to that former management company for the money, Flair claims they told him the money was used to pay legal bills, which he says he never authorized. Oof. Well, there goes having his now former manager Melinda's phone number, so there goes that. Oh, well. Also, WWE announcing that the 15th annual Tribute to the Troops will be held Tuesday, the 5th of December at Naval Base San Diego, with a 2-hour special airing Thursday, December 14th at 8 p.m. on USA Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. And WWE broadcast team member David Otunga and longtime girlfriend and actress Jennifer Hudson have split up after 10 years together, Hudson obtaining an order of protection claiming aggressive, threatening, and harassing behavior towards her. Oof. There have also been, they have a child together, and they've been both seeking primary custody, and the situation caused Otunga to recuse himself from the Survivor Series broadcast. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left. That means it's time for...
birthdays!
Thank you there, Lucas. 3 plus 3 Brucey bonuses. On this date in 1946, John L. Sullivan was born. The actor, comedian, former two-time WWF Tag Team Champion, manager, and WWF Hall of Famer, better known as Johnny Valiant or Luscious Johnny V, turned 71 today. On this date in 1980, Joshua Lomberger was born. The former WWE Tough Enough runner-up, interviewer, commentator, and current Impact commentator, best known as Josh Matthews, turns 37 today. He's not old. And break out the tissues for this one. On this date in 2005, Conor Mahalik was born. The 2015 WWE Hall of Fame Warrior Award winner, known as Conor the Crusher, died in April of 2014 at the age of 8 from brain cancer. WWE founded Conor's Cure, a nonprofit charity for pediatric cancer research, in Mahalik's memory. Yeah. And to the Brucey bonuses before I start welling up. On this date in 1944, these are things outside of the world of wrestling, Benjamin Jeremy Stein was born. The writer, lawyer, commentator, actor, and Emmy Award-winning game show host, known for his monotonous voice from The Wonder Years, Clear Eyes commercials, The Mask, Win Ben Stein's Money, Bueller, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, etc., turns 73 today. On this date in 1971, Christina Applegate was born. The actress from movies like Anchorman and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and perhaps best known for her role as Kelly Bundy in the TV series Married with Children, turns 46 today. And on this date in 1976, Donovan Jamal McNabb was born.
Number 5 will always love you.
That's right, the 6-time Pro Bowl quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, who led them to 5 NFC Championship games and Super Bowl 39, leading the team in career pass attempts, completions, passing yards, and passing touchdowns, for now, turns 41 today. So happy birthday all around and all across here. And, okay. I thought I was good to go, but I'm told I need I've actually got a little bit more time. Who would have thunk that? Huh. Time flies when you're having fun, and it flies here too, although apparently lots of changes having to be made, and one of them... Okay. Just getting the word here from Suburban Jack Urban here. As far as all the... I was going to say, is he going with that? Are you going with that with the Country Road show later, Suburban Jack Urban, or just... I don't know.
I'm going to do my best.
You're going to do your best. Okay, well...
I'm going to do my best.
Whatever you have, you're going to do your best. Okay, that's all you can hope to do, right? It's like the old Cub Scout motto: "Do your best," or something like that. That's I'm dialing back more years than I'd like to think about with that one. Yeah, Urban's like, "Oh, shut up! You're a pup compared to me." He's banging his head against the door. Oh no, what have I done here? I'm probably going to make the list like Chris Jericho here. Anyway, that's that is going to just about do things here, but in a couple of minutes we'll be heading over to Commonwealth Egan Catholic and Palisades. That should be a lot of fun. The philosopher Chris Ermer going to be bringing that to you here, and good to be back after a little bit of time away. That's amazing. We compress and then we stretch here. It's the old hurry up and wait mindset. So coming up, we'll be talking over the next couple weeks leading into Clash of Champions. I'm sure there's going to be more information coming about the Royal Rumble that's going to be here in Philadelphia. And hopefully next week... Oh, actually, I talked about the MFPW. For those looking to actually become wrestlers, hey, what better time than today to start living your dream? Tonight at 6 o'clock down at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue, free tryouts. That's right. You can just show up in gym clothes and see if you've got what it takes to step in the ring and do what myself on occasion and Lucas, as well as many others who have made their way up the ranks, including Punishment Martinez, who just won the Ring of Honor Survival of the Fittest tournament. And just big things coming his way, and there's nobody that I've seen that's worked harder than he has. So that should just about do things here. We're going to go ahead and take it over to Commonwealth League and Catholic against Palisades from Northeast High School. The philosopher Chris Ermer, full of glory and renown, is going to be on the call for that one, I believe. And Nutsy's. Can we get the milk carton to put Nutsy on? We haven't heard from him in almost a month now. It's because I haven't had a show that's ended right at 1 o'clock. But nonetheless, thank you for tuning in, and I'll be back, as far as I know, next week. We'll find out from El Jefe Roberto as things go along here on 1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton. For now, stay